Campfire Tales, Lore of the Olympic National Forest by R.S. Hughes. The Terror of Olympic National Forest. It was a crisp autumn evening when John decided to take his two children, 10-year-old Tommy and 14-year-old Sarah, on a camping trip deep in the Olympic National Forest. They parked their truck and hiked only about 100 yards from it, feeling secure in their proximity to the vehicle. As they set up camp, the family chattered and joked. John and Tommy pitched the tent while Sarah gathered firewood. "Dad, do you think we'll see any cool animals?" Tommy asked, his eyes wide with excitement. "Maybe some deer or raccoons," John replied with a grin. "Just remember to keep our food stored properly so we don't attract any unwanted visitors." Sarah returned with an armful of wood. "I can't wait to roast marshmallows and tell ghost stories." As night fell, they gathered around the crackling campfire. The flames cast dancing shadows on the trees, creating an eerie yet cozy atmosphere. John pulled out a bag of marshmallows, and they all took turns roasting them to golden perfection. "Okay, who's got a good ghost story?" John asked, his voice taking on a playful, spooky tone. "I have one," Sarah exclaimed. "Once upon a time, there was a haunted mining cabin deep in the woods." As Sarah spun her tale, Tommy's eyes grew wide and clung to his father's arm. "That's so creepy, sis." John chuckled. "Great story, Sarah. How about this one?" He leaned in closer to the fire, casting a dramatic shadow on his face. "Long ago, in these very woods, there was a hermit who vanished without a trace. They say his ghost still wanders these parts, searching for something he lost." The family laughed and shivered at the spooky stories, feeling a bond of closeness in the shared experience. As the night wore on, they settled into their tent, unaware of the lurking danger. In the early morning hours, they were abruptly awakened by growls and snarls. A giant, hungry bear had found its way to their campsite. John sprang into action, trying to protect his children. The bear attacked with ferocity, its massive claws tearing into the tent and smashing down on Sarah's leg, breaking it. She screamed in agony. John confronted the beast, grabbing a nearby branch in a desperate attempt to fend it off. The bear swiped at him with a powerful paw, sending him crashing to the ground. Tommy screamed in terror as the bear turned its attention to him. It lunged, its jaws closing around the boy's arm. Tommy screamed and passed out from fear and pain. John, bleeding and in agony, managed to pull the bear away from his son, but the beast was relentless. With a savage growl, it knocked John to the ground and bit into his shoulder. John groaned painfully, with blood spraying across the campsite. Sarah, barely able to move with the pain of her injured leg, crawled to her brother. "Tommy, stay with me," she cried, trying to shake him awake. But Tommy was unconscious, his arm mangled and bleeding profusely. The bear's attack on John grew more violent, its claws ripping through flesh and muscle. In a desperate bid to save his children, John fought back with all his remaining strength, but the bear was too powerful. With a final, sickening crunch, the bear's jaws clamped down on John's neck, silencing him forever. And just as suddenly as the attack happened, it stopped. Sarah, her heart pounding, found the cell phone and dialed her mother's number. To her surprise, she managed to get a signal and called Karen. "Mom, we were attacked by a bear, Dad! Dad is dead! And Tommy's hurt bad. My leg is broken, but the bear left," she cried, her voice trembling with fear. Karen, helpless and panicking, tried to console her daughter. "Stay strong, Sarah. Help is on the way. Just hold on." But the relief was short-lived. Sarah's voice suddenly filled with terror. She screamed, "Mom! It's coming back! It has 2 baby bears with her! Mom! Mom! They're eating me!" The phone went silent, leaving Karen in a state of unimaginable horror. Hours later, a rescue party found the campsite and witnessed the tragedy that had occurred. The events that transpired served as a warning to all who ventured into the woods. When you enter the Olympic National Forest, you are stepping into the food chain. It is a cautionary tale for those who heed the warning, and for those who still venture in, always remember to bring your bear spray.